This is going to be a lot of fun, folks. They're bringing an iconic story to the stage in Cleveland. Erma Bombeck at Wits End. It opens in less than 10 days. We're going to welcome actress Pam Sherman and director Mark Cuddy. And this show opens on the 29th, and people should start buying some tickets right now, right?
Absolutely, because it's actually filling up.
It's selling well.
She's so popular.
Well, the last two places you've been, or the last three places you've been, it's sold out and extended.
Exactly.
So that tells you something. And the theater you guys are playing in only holds like less than 200 people.
That's right.
So it's an intimate show. But I think, first of all, we should tell a lot of people out there who maybe haven't read, can't read, or they're too young to know Erma Bombeck. Who was she, and at Wits End, how does that play into her character?
So Erma Bombeck was an iconic columnist who, for her time, and actually for all time, was one of the most widely distributed columnists. She was in over 900 newspapers.
There was a thing called a newspaper. It was a paper.
Correct.
Back in the day.
It came to your house, and you'd open it up, and there were stars in the newspaper. You had the news and all that, but there were stars. Like Ann Landers was a star, right?
Yes, and Erma was one of the first. She started writing from her bedroom in Dayton, Ohio, and really wanted to share the stories, the truth of what it was like to be a woman living, working in a home, raising a family, and she really wanted to tell the untold stories of women and their lives in the truth, but with humor and heart.
And sarcasm.
Well, you know, she did it with a very gentle pen.
Funny.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, funny.
How was it to direct this young lady?
Well, you know, I cast Pam because she herself was a syndicated columnist and an actor. She was also a lawyer in her younger life, but we won't talk about that. And so it was sort of perfect understanding really the essence of Erma Bombeck, who, you know, contemporary, work from home. She was one of the great work from home stars.
Yeah.
And here we are. Everyone's working from home now.
Is this a one-person show?
Well, I'd like to say it's a one-actor show, but it is certainly not a one-person show. Between the partner, the director, the incredible, artists, creative artists who create the world of Erma Bombeck, taking people into her home, and really sharing a story of decades that are lost and that need to be told.
Yeah.
And we want to bring everyone down to hear her story.
It's really funny too. Her sense of humor is the obvious is there in front of you, and you sort of accept it, but when you flip the page a little bit and see what's on the back of the page, it's a whole different view and perspective.
She had a lot of depth, and you know, she really talked about what it was like to be a dreamer and follow through on those dreams.
And a woman.
And a woman, and honestly, she was an inspiration to me. I really discovered her when she was on Good Morning America. She was a correspondent, or on Johnny Carson, and in my newspaper, and watching my mother, read her. And then when I became a columnist, she was absolutely an inspiration to all those women out there who write about their lives and want to tell the truth. But she did it with humor, and that was accessible to men. Women, children,
I was going to bring that
grandmothers.
up. Yeah, it's not a woman show. It's a people show, and it's one of those things that when you watch a show like that, or when you listen, or when you read her, you'd be like, well, that's what I thought, or that's what I think, or why didn't I say that? It's so close to the bone.
And it's still timely. I mean, you know the perspective from a male perspective.
You know, and we have, the audiences have been multi-generational and certainly multi-gender, and everyone has either been in a family, had a mother, had a grandma. You know, there's just a lot of truth and twisted, and like, just as you say, I never thought of it like that.
There's almost humor to be farmed out of tragedy.
Yes, and she had, there were challenges in her life. I mean, she was a child of the Depression. I mean, my favorite part at the very end, when the applause happens, is watching men in the front row wipe a tear from their eye, because it reminds them they get what their mothers went through to get them to where they are today.
We talk about this being in a smaller theater, which is great. It's intimate. You're right there. But it also tells you, we said, you buy your tickets now, because everywhere this has been, it's been extended, which tells me people like it so much, they not only come back, but they tell other people to come that don't usually go.
Absolutely, and that's really, we've been so lucky. And the Cleveland Playhouse, to be able to play at this iconic Tony Award-winning theater, for me, it's really a dream as an actor.
We're in the Outcall Theater, which is right next to the Allen Theater, 183 seats, very intimate. You're really there with her, which is really fun. So everyone has a great seat.
Hey, so what do you think of this whole Playhouse Square thing we have here in Cleveland?
I'm blown away. When I read that it's the second largest theater district in the country, I was like, what does that mean? And then I saw it, and there's another theater, another here. And even the fact that the Cleveland Playhouse has 3 theaters to work from, you guys are really lucky in Cleveland. I just, as a visitor.
Yeah, I think we're lucky. Well, what makes it lucky for us is that, great shows come like this. I mean, this is, some people never heard of Erma Bombeck, and some, she had a great deal to do with how they grew up and how they thought.
Can I just tell you that the playwrights are twin sisters.
From Chagrin Falls.
Allison and Peggy Engel.
Come on.
They are so excited
Yeah.
to come back to their hometown and showcase Erma Bombeck, who's just, from a few miles away in Dayton, but who was the Cleveland Plain Dealer was her first newspaper.
This is a show to see, folks. Get out there. It opens
July 29.
Okay, there it is right there on the big screen for you. July 29th through August 20th. And it's at the Outright Theater and Playhouse Square. Just give them a call, get some tickets, and don't get shut out. Thank you very much.